that he can only use it on weekends or 4 hours a day or any other type of restriction. But the use and benefit goes to Sam. Why do we do these things? Well, we do it a lot of times for asset protection because Sam can enjoy the use, but look, we've pushed all the risk of ownership to another. And usually trustees, in that example of land, professional trustees will typically charge fees for the risk and burden. But, that's what a trust is, and it's a very useful and powerful tool in asset protection. Finally, our last topic here is dealing with debt. When you're a real estate investor and you're trying to buy properties, you can certainly get debt by way of, financing by way of debt. You or your real estate co can get a loan. It can be secured or unsecured. An unsecured loan is a mere promise to pay. You can negotiate it with Tony Soprano, God rest his soul, or, a major bank like RBC or BMO. Uncle Bob can be a lender. Any lender you negotiate, you will negotiate the terms of the loan. If it's unsecured and you fail to pay, the lender will sue and get a judgment. It's a mere debt. If it's a secured loan, like a mortgage, then the security typically is land, and they can realize against land and even foreclose that land in order to pay the debt if it's been breached upon. And of course, all the foreclosure laws are very detailed and differ by province, but generally, that's it. The land is security for the lender in the event of default. Another way you can finance, of course, is by equity financing. And I mention this to people in these types of courses because I see a lot of real estate investors skirting on this issue, dancing on the edge of this issue. It's extremely technical, extremely regulated. The securities laws are very complicated. They're different in every province. Province of the investor matters. That's very important. And they're designed to protect the public, not you. So it doesn't matter what you think or what you know or how you know this guy or whatever. It's all about, does this other person, the investor giving money, know enough about you and the business to have made a sound decision? And there's a bunch of exemptions where you can get these people that can invest, but generally speaking, you cannot take money from the public for shares of your corporation. So even if you set up a little real estate co and you start buying a property too, thinking, well, let's get some more, let's get another co-owner here, we're going to sell some shares to this rich doctor guy, he's got money but no time, why don't we get $200,000 from him? In that example, you might be very careful, you might have breached the securities laws. Maybe he's exempt. There are exemptions. For example, if he's an accredited investor, different in every province, province of the investor matters, then he's deemed to be a high net worth individual and it's no problem. So if your investor is Kevin O'Leary, he's sophisticated and rich enough to know what he's doing, to get advice or to suffer a loss should it occur. No problem. If you get $200K from anyone, the minimum amount of investment may apply, so it's okay. But if you get, $50,000 from little granny baking cookies in her kitchen and she loses her money, you better watch out. You can get in big trouble. So for some real estate investors, again, this is very complicated and it's a lot to be said. But for some real estate investors, don't place an ad in the national newspaper saying,